Hi, you probably heard and experienced that it's not easy to get word stress in Russian right, unless you are a native speaker. There's no such thing as predictable stress, so you have to learn which syllable is stressed along with each word you learn. This should happen naturally. You should hear the word before reading it and know its meaning. Here's some advice. The best method of learning the correct stress of words is to hear the language. If possible, you need help from a fluent speaker. The most important piece of advice is to not get obsessed with stress. Relax. Don't think you must know the stress of every single word you read or pronounce. Here are the basic facts. In Russian, every word is stressed. One syllable particles such as to, pod, do, чтобы, etc. are the main exception. Whether they are stressed or not depends on the surrounding words and the speaker too. Stress is an important part of correct pronunciation in Russian. Stress can be the only distinctive feature between words spelled identically. Typical examples of these are muka, muka, torture, flower, and slova, slava, genitive singular and nominative plural of slovo word. No stress mark is used on real text. In contrast, textbooks put the stress mark on every single word, as well as good dictionaries. On one hand, most nouns have regular, non-moving stress. On the other hand, many important nouns have shifting stress, which means that different forms of the same word may have the stress on different syllables. Long form adjectives have perfectly regular stress. Either it is fixed on the root syllable or it is fixed at the end. In contrast, stress in short form adjectives is pretty chaotic. Different people will stress the same form on different syllables. Verbs can have shifting stress too. There are two common irregularities. First, in the present tense forms, first person singular is stressed on the final syllable. The rest of the forms are stressed on the previous syllable. Here's an example. Ходил, сушил. Second, in the past tense forms, the feminine form is stressed on the final a, while the other forms are stressed on the previous syllable. For example, ходила, сушила. It is not only a matter of word stress. Some fixed expressions have a stress of their own. The one example you must know is the expression не было, which is stressed on the ye in не, with no stress on the word было, even though the word было is normally stressed on the u. Here are more facts and useful tips. You should be able to correctly read many Russian words by just learning these facts. If you encounter the syllable tel in a word, then the previous syllable is likely to be stressed. This way you can correctly guess that the word обстоятельство is pronounced обстоятельство. Don't fear long words, some exceptions. Слушатель, смертельный. Another fact, words which end in ie usually have stress on the last vowel before the ie ending. Thus, you pronounce образование, приглашение, развитие, присутствие. These IA words form an easily recognizable class of nouns, many of which are derived from verbs. Приглашение comes from приглашать, пригласить. The main exception of the stated rule are IA words derived from: first, ova verbs whose stress is before the ova, and second, imperfective verbs with eva, eva, whose stress is before the eva, eva. For example, требование, which is derived from требовать, preserves the stress of the verb. So does разглядывание, from разглядывать. Other words have irregular stress just because, such as намерение. Words which end in ia usually have their stress on the last vowel before the ia. Энергия, фантазия. Also, usually the vowel before the ending ческий is stressed. Мелодический. And finally, the endings ство, as in гражданство, and ость, as in яркость, are not usually stressed. There are some important exceptions though. If this video was helpful, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and push the notification button so you don't miss any of my new videos. And see you in the next video.